Hello everybody and welcome back to a Fast Fact series, and for this Fast Fact we're going to look at the Roman Emperor Trajan. Trajan was the second of the so-called five good emperors, or the emperors of the Antonine dynasty. Trajan, he's notable for many instances of Roman history, but he's one of the great things about Trajan. I just want to say at the beginning is that he was the first Roman emperor who was not from the Italian peninsula. He was from Hispania. He was a Spaniard. His career and his ascension represents a shift of imperial power out of Rome proper, and out of the Italian peninsula and into the provinces. It encompasses the full Roman Empire, and it brings in the Roman provinces into this imperial reckoning, and into this imperial understanding or identity. Now, this change was also reflected in the Senate's composition, as a number of senators were now not Roman or Italic, but they had family roots in the provinces. And this was the true success of Rome and Romanizing the empire and tying in local elites and common people to the empire, to this idea of Rome and the Roman identity. And we will discuss Romanization of the provinces at a later date. But Trajan, he had a very distinguished career before his reign as emperor. He was a sober man. He was remembered fondly by senatorial sources for the respect and the courtesy that he showed to the Senate. And of course, senatorial sources are always biased in that regards, in that they overlook some of the worst aspects of a ruler as long as he kowtows, or at least props the Senate up into this sort of golden understanding, or this sort of like brighter light. And we could contrast that with, let's say, an emperor like Nero, who openly showed disdain for the Senate. He's remembered much worse in senatorial traditions than other emperors. But Trajan, sober man, respectful to the Senate. He was a military man, and under him the Romans invaded and conquered the ancient region of Dacia. Dacia was an area in Eastern Europe enclosed by the Danube River, and the conquest of Dacia allowed Trajan to design the empire boundaries more favorably to Rome. Trajan also fought against the Parthians, and the Parthians, of course, were the Iranian groups who had defeated Crassus. He won a few temporary victories against the Parthians, gaining Mesopotamia for a while. Trajan also benefited from the Dacian conquest by gaining access to some very lucrative gold mines in Eastern Europe. Now, the wealth generated from these new gold mines allowed Trajan to build a new harbor at Ostia, and Ostia, of course, was the port of ancient Rome. Trajan also built a huge complex next to the Forum, next to the Forum of Trajan, next to the Roman Forum. Now, this area was built using the finest imported marble and decorative stone. Now, next to this was his memorial, and his memorial is known as Trajan's Column. And Trajan's Column celebrated his victory over the Dacians. He built a Latin library and a Greek library next to his column, and these both go to enhance his reputation as a sophisticated leader, in that he would have the greats from the Hellenic tradition compiled in this library, and he would also have all these Roman epics in this Latin library. Now, Trajan acquired the title Optimus Princeps, and Optimus Princeps simply means the best of the Princeps. He was regarded as being in a separate class with Augustus as the very best of emperors. Later Roman emperors would be acclaimed Felicor Augustus, Melicor Trajanus. Luckier than Augustus, better than Trajan. And they also had a reverse saying for emperors they disliked. It went something like crueler than Domitian, filthier than Nero. But that'll do it for our fast fact on Trajan. Poor Domitian and Nero were never well liked by the Senate, and that's because they did not treat the Senate well, and the feelings were mutual. But hit like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you thought about this fast fact. And as always, I'm Ted, and I'll see you guys next time for another fast fact.